If you leave, there will always be an empty space in my heart, one that nothing or no one can fill because you've already carved your name into it. I feel like I've built my entire world around you, and now that you're slipping away, I'm left wondering how to navigate the pieces without you. What happens to all the promises we made if you leave? Do they just fade away, or do they haunt me in the quiet moments when I miss you the most? I don't know how to unlove you. The thought of it, of letting go, feels like I'm being asked to erase a part of my own existence. When you love someone, you imagine a future with them. But what happens when that future fades away? I can't help but wonder if I'll ever be able to imagine anything without you in it. I can't promise that I won't be a mess if you leave. You are the glue holding me together, and without you, I don't know how I'll keep from falling apart. You're not just a chapter in my life. You are the book. How do I keep turning pages when the story feels incomplete without you? You might think leaving is the easy part, but for me, it's the beginning of a long journey of wondering if I'll ever find the courage to move on. When you leave, it's not just you walking out the door. It's a part of me that never comes back, and I'll spend every day missing that piece of myself. I never realized how much you meant to me until the thought of you leaving became a reality. It's more than just a love lost. It's the loss of everything I thought I knew. The emptiness after you leave is like a shadow that stretches across everything I do, reminding me that the light I once had is now gone. Leaving me isn't just saying goodbye. It's taking away the future we were supposed to have and replacing it with an uncertainty I'm not ready to face. When you're gone, the silence is deafening. It's a void that fills every corner of my life, and no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to escape it. Leaving feels like a betrayal, not because of what you did, but because of how it makes me feel, like everything we built was never truly mine. The pain of you leaving isn't something I can explain. It's a hollow ache that grows louder with every second. I realize you're slipping further away. When you leave, you take my heart with you, and all that's left is a void I'm not sure how to fill. Sometimes I wonder if you ever realized how much you meant to me. It's not just love I feel, it's a desperation to hold on to something that's slipping through my fingers. You leaving would be the ultimate loss, not just because I love you, but because you are the reason I found meaning in the chaos. The thought of you leaving fills me with such dread that it feels like I'm drowning in a sea of what ifs and could have beens. Love isn't always a gentle feeling. Sometimes it's an overwhelming force. And when you leave, it feels like that force has been ripped away, leaving nothing but emptiness. When you leave, it's not just you walking away from me, it's you taking away the world I knew, and I'm left to pick up the shattered pieces. I always imagined a future with you in it. Now that you're leaving, I'm left to wonder if that future was just a dream that I'll never wake up from. You may leave, but the memories we created will linger. They'll haunt me, reminding me of everything I lost the moment you walked out. Love is never simple, and when you leave, it doesn't just break my heart, it shatters everything I thought I knew about love itself. The hardest part of loving you is knowing that I might have to let you go. I never wanted to lose you, but I don't know how to hold on anymore. If you leave, I'll be left with the pieces of a broken heart, trying to make sense of a love that seemed so perfect, but wasn't enough to keep you by my side. You leaving isn't just a loss of love, it's a loss of everything that felt certain, leaving me to rebuild a life I never expected to have to create alone. You were my everything, and now that you're slipping away, it feels like I'm losing the best part of myself, one moment at a time. Leaving isn't just about walking away from a person, it's about turning your back on a love that you know will never come again. I don't want to be left behind, but I can't stop thinking about what life will be like when you're no longer here. Every second feels like a countdown to the end of something beautiful. Leaving me isn't just walking away, it's severing the connection we've shared. Every moment without you feels like a piece of my soul has been torn away, leaving me to piece together the fragments of who I once was. Sometimes I feel like I'm a storm inside, and if you leave, the winds will tear everything apart. But even in the chaos, I wonder, if I let you go, can I still survive the wreckage? My love for you runs deeper than the pain of abandonment, and in the silence after you've left, I'll spend every moment wondering if you ever felt the same intensity, or if it was all a lie. When you're with me, it feels like I have everything, but when you're gone, the emptiness that remains is so profound. It leaves me questioning who I am without you. I never wanted to make you feel trapped, but when you're the center of my world, the thought of losing you creates a storm in my mind that leaves no room for calm. Every time I think of you leaving, I imagine the emptiness that will consume me. It feels like my heart will stop beating because it's no longer tethered to yours. It's not about controlling you, it's about the overwhelming sense of loss that fills me when I imagine a future without you. It feels like life itself would lose its meaning. You can't just walk away from something so real, so deep. Every day without you is like being submerged in water, gasping for air, wondering when I'll finally drown in the silence. The thought of you leaving terrifies me more than anything, because when you're not by my side, I feel like half of me ceases to exist, and I'm left searching for the pieces of who I used to be. I know you have every right to leave, but that doesn't stop the gnawing feeling that if you do, I'll be forever trapped in the past, forever chasing the ghost of the love we once had. I don't want to control you, but when I picture a life without you, I wonder how I'll breathe without the air you've been giving me all this time. When you leave, it's not just you walking away, it's a part of me that fades into nothing, and the shadows of the memories we've shared start to consume me. You were my everything, and now that you're slipping away, I feel like a part of me is crumbling into dust, fading into the background of a life that no longer includes you. Losing you feels like losing the sun itself. The world would still go on, but it would be nothing but a cold, lifeless place without your warmth. Leaving isn't just a decision, it's a rupture, a painful cut that leaves scars I'll carry for a lifetime, each one a reminder of what was once whole. I never expected that loving you would hurt this much, but now that you're leaving, I realize that nothing compares to the pain of watching the one person who meant everything walk away. If you leave, you won't just be gone physically, but you'll take every ounce of light with you, leaving me to navigate this darkness without you by my side. The thought of you leaving me behind is more than just a heartbreak. It's a complete unraveling of everything I believed was safe and secure in this world. It's not about losing someone. It's about the void they leave behind, a hole so deep that even time can't seem to fill it. When you love someone this deeply, even the thought of them walking away is enough to shatter you completely, leaving only fragments of who you once were. You don't just leave a person when you walk away. You leave a trail of destruction in your wake, a landscape that will never be the same again. It's not about revenge or anger. It's about the raw, aching emptiness that takes over when I realize I might never get to hold you again. Sometimes it feels like the love I have for you is a curse, because the thought of losing you is something I don't know how to survive. What do you do when the person who meant everything to you suddenly becomes someone you're forced to let go of? How do you rebuild a life when it feels like the foundation has crumbled? If you leave me, I won't just lose you. I'll lose everything I ever believed in, and I will be left to wonder if any of it was real. I don't know what scares me more, the thought of you leaving, or the idea that I might never find another love that makes me feel so alive. The scariest part about letting you go isn't just the loneliness that follows. It's the realization that I might never love anyone like I loved you. Leaving me is like walking away from an unfinished story, a story where all the best chapters are yet to come. How can we leave it incomplete? I don't want to keep you bound to me, but the fear of being abandoned haunts me, and the thought of losing you feels like losing the very essence of myself. Sometimes I wonder if you really understand how deeply your absence would affect me. I'm not just losing you, I'm losing everything that made life worth living.